People are kind of rude. So apparently, this TikToker was born with a huge arm, and strangers say to amputate it. So let's check this out.
Take it off! I would rather die. Okay, so this is my arm. It's called a vascular malformation. It's a birth defect. Basically, my veins don't have a regular muscular wall around them to keep their shape, so they expand. And I get blood clots.
That is scary. Getting blood clots like that, that's scary.
They're not dangerous to me though. Doesn't really stop me from doing anything though. I've played sports. I've done everything normal people can do. The only thing that stops me is when I do get a blood clot. It can be painful to do like everyday things. I win!
Doesn't fit over my arm. Okay. So, a woman born with a debilitating condition that caused one of her arms to swell in size says trolls tell her to amputate it. Diagnosed with a vascular malformation at 2 months old, after her family spotted a bruise on the inside of her elbow that had been there since birth. Klopchen's condition is caused by the abnormal development of blood vessels, which can lead to discoloration or protrusions in the affected region. Her arm and hand have swelled in size, with the skin appearing slightly discolored and bruised. However, they're still fully functional, something many social media users seem to disregard when they give her unsolicited advice. Clapton regularly posts about her life and condition on TikTok, posting shocking things that users have said to her, including telling her to amputate her swollen arm. Now, here's the thing: if her arm, like, literally was non functioning and it just existed like there and it just kept on getting bigger and bigger, I would say amputation might be an eventual decision, right? If it was completely non functional, meaning you could not do anything with it at like whatsoever, right? But it's fully functional. It's not stopping her from really doing anything. And the reality is that her being only 18 and having that condition from a very early age probably has made her more mentally tough than her peers at her age. So, what I mean by this, she probably has been bullied for a very long time. I mean, she's probably even getting bullied right now on social media, right? So, having this arm, this type of arm, right? And having to deal with the constant bullying that she probably had to deal with and is still probably dealing with is probably making her more mentally tough, more capable of dealing with things that other people her age probably couldn't. Right? So that's something to like maybe look on the brighter sides of things. Like, you know what? Maybe I'm grateful for having this unique attachment to me because, hey, now I'm pretty happy with whatever is going on in life. The teen has over 256,000 followers on TikTok where she posts about her condition. In one clip, which has been viewed more than 2.4 million times, Clapton responded to a comment someone left telling her to remove her limb. In it, she masked to an audio clip from an episode of the animated series Bob's Burgers, in which someone angrily says, "Take it off," and the character Tina Belcher responds, "I would rather die." Bruh. Regardless of your thoughts, like, imagine amputating an arm you use and works fine, like question mark, question mark, question mark, and a question mark. Really? Question mark, question mark, question mark. One shocked viewer wrote about the clip. People really would rather that you lose an entire entirely functional limb because they don't find it aesthetically pleasing, another commented. I mean, like, another way to really think about it, right? Imagine if you're a guy with a micro hot dog, right? Should you just amputate that? Because I mean, it still functions. You can still pee with it, but you can't really do much more than that. Like, should you just snip it? Like, you gotta really wonder about some people, honestly, because it's just like, wow. Just wow, right? Like, some people have some very interesting takes. And the cool thing is, you're entitled to your viewpoint, right? My only question is this permanent? Like, is this like a situation where it goes big and then smaller, big and then smaller? Or is it potentially something like it stays big and might keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger over time? And is there potentially a way for her to, like, maybe drain the buildup, right? Now, I'm not too familiar with this, obviously, but if she is able to steadily drain it out, I feel like it'd just be a lot less weight to carry around, right? It still might look obviously different than her other arm, but if she's able to lessen the growth rate of the arm, maybe that'll make her quality of life maybe just a little bit better, right? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, is there a way for her to make her quality of life just a little bit better with not a crazy medical procedure, but maybe something that would just lessen maybe the rate of the growth or maybe lessen the damage that is done when she ends up getting blood clots, right? Like, that's what I wonder. Also, she has really cool piercings. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, so it is permanently swollen. Okay, okay. Answers my question. Still, others didn't understand why she hadn't amputated it. Personally, I'd rather have a really nice prosthetic and I could decorate it, but that's just me, a TikTok follower wrote. Now, here's the thing, like, imagine if you're actually right handed and you end up having your right arm swollen like this. Imagine trying to go to the bathroom. Imagine trying to wipe your own butt, right? Imagine trying to wipe your own butt with the arm that is not meant to do it. So basically, it's like a stranger is wiping your butt. That is incredibly awkward, right? I'd rather deal with a bigger arm that still works than no arm. You'd look a lot better without it, though, so someone else told her. Now, this is the sad thing, right? Because some people would probably agree with that statement. The reality, right, is that if she were to do that, and the type of guy that she would get would only be into her just because she no longer had that arm, that's a really bad quality of a guy, right? But if she were to find someone who just didn't really care about it, or maybe cared about it in the sense where, like, hey, are you going to be okay? Like, are you going to be healthy? Like, worrying about that in that sense, that would be a little bit different situation than be like, oh, you need to cut off your arm so you could look hotter. Like, how crazy is that? Kloppen says she didn't initially intend to make content revolving around her arm, but has moved in that direction. She probably saw, like, her analytics and probably saw so many comments being like, amputate your arm, amputate your arm. I'm like, oh, so many people are commenting about my arm. Seems like probably a pretty smart idea to still make more videos about my condition. Getting all them views, you know? I had never seen anyone with anything similar to me on the internet before, and once I started to get these opportunities, I took them straight away because I wanted people like myself to be able to go on their phones and say, hey, that person has what I have, or hey, they look like me, she told Need to Know That online. Now, here's the thing I have personally never seen anyone with this condition before, but I have seen someone with basically elephantitis, which is different. Because I believe elephantitis is basically with like basically worms, fungal infection kind of thing, where they like your arm basically becomes almost like a tree trunk, basically. Clapton said that she's had mixed reactions from people online, with some telling her how beautiful she is and how much they admire her confidence, while others tried to tear her down. Negativity on their internet has consumed so many people's lives, but I choose not to let it consume mine, she said. I question why would I let these people affect me when I'm already doing so good in life and when I'm already doing the things that I want to be doing, she continued. I can't let somebody's comment who I don't even know bother me. Although her TikToks show her sunny outlook and positive attitude, Clouton admitted that due to her condition, she sometimes gets painful blood clots, but luckily she doesn't suffer from them too often, and they haven't stopped her from participating in regular activities. Now here's the thing. I think anyone who's like maybe dealing with like any sort of like mental health condition or anything like that, or might have like be facing a lot of anxiety or self-doubt and all that kind of stuff, right? Or just unhappy, is to really pay attention to this statement that she has, right? Actually, no, this one, right? Negativity on the internet has consumed so many people's lives, but I choose, aka a choice, not to let it consume mine. This is an amazing statement, to be frank. Other than pushing through the pain, I was able to do sports, I would hang out with friends, and my friends would question things about my arm, but I was always open and willing to answer the questions they had, she explained. I am truly thankful that my arm hasn't given me any downsides to life. I could consider the pain a downside, but I choose not to. Hey, one way to look at it is like this. Oh, look, I'm feeling pain right now. At least I'm alive. So let's check out if there's any comments. Oh, a lot actually. Some parts of me don't know how to feel. Really? That's the first comment I read. Some parts of me don't know how to feel. Congratulations, dude. Olivia, you are a beautiful young woman, and don't let anyone tell you you aren't. A great sense of humor about an idiosyncrasy that like that goes a long way and actually makes her more attractive in other ways. Now, if she would lose all the piercings, those are what's not attractive. I mean, personally, I think the piercings kind of look cool, but personal preference. One reply, my thoughts exactly. Just wish her good health. I agree with this one so much, right? Like the when I first heard the blood clot statement, I was like, oh no, like that is super scary because blood clots can be so bad, like they could literally kill you, right? She's a cute, happy girl. I hope she ignores the jerks. Rock on, young lady. You know what? That'd probably be like a really cool name for like a song title. But in the first photo, it's the left arm, then the right, which is the swollen arm. Yes, it's shifting arm syndrome. The photos are probably flipped. Different apps do that. Some of the pics had the slide reversed. Impossible to say which unless someone visits her TikTok and can say which arm is affected. I say left Arm is affected since one childhood photo shows left arm is affected and has the name Olivia printed on her t-shirt. Okay, so it's left arm. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I met Olivia at her local prom where my daughter was invited as a guest. She is a beautiful and self confident young woman who others could take a lesson from in how to be inclusive and support others. She likely had never met my daughter, however, she made a point to stop and tell her how beautiful she looked that evening. Olivia, you are one in a million and keep your head held high. You are beautiful inside and out and don't settle for the other stuff the trolls tell you. Hey, if that's cool, that's pretty awesome. I see her in that light blue bikini. I would never notice her arm. Not exactly where I'm looking by Bob Friedman. From Jeff Epstein. Ha 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 ha. Admire the honesty. It would be nice to see a young lady without a ring in their nose. I will be happy when this fad of self mutilation goes away, including tattoos. I have never seen anyone's appearance improved by a tattoo. Well, here's the thing, right? Again, this is like all really a personal preference. Now, here's another perspective, right? If you have someone that before the piercings, before the tattoos, was not confident, but then after the tattoos or piercings, they were confident, they're like, yeah, I look good, I'm hot, right? After all this stuff, they're going to be more attractive. Like, confidence goes such a long way. Someone feeling good about themselves goes such a long way. So, them having a piercing in their nose or their earring or eyebrow or pillows or whatever, right? Or like having a tattoo wherever that might be located might make them feel better about themselves, which in turn makes them actually look better than they originally did, even though nothing really changed anything about them. Boy trapped in refrigerator eats own leg. Okay, that's random. She's a true beauty, but that is distracting, if not downright gross. Kinda like the legs you see on some of the poor unfortunates waddling through Walmart or in their electric store carts. But a lot of those are, I think, self imposed on them. She's beautiful, even with the arm, and that's why they hate her, because she's still way more attractive than most people. Ha ha. And now that she shows her confidence, she's a smoke show. See, I agree. Someone showing confidence goes such a long way. And the person says, "Yas, queen." That's that's interesting. I don't even know how you pronounce that though, honestly, because there's so many A's and so many S's. Why does it appear to switch arms? Because it's flipped. Bobby Kraft would like to get to know you. Yes, he would. No idea who Bobby Kraft is. All these people whining about negative feedback on the internet are full of it. Clearly, they like the attention. If they didn't, they wouldn't put their crap out there for people to comment on. I like slap fighting. Very pretty girl, with your attitude, you will have an amazing life. Too many tuggies. Another, quotes, victim. Just because some jerk online told you to amputate it, you're now a poor widow victim. I bet hardly anyone has cared one bit about your arm. It's like the media is seeking out any and everything to push as victimhood. It's attention seeking of weak egos. Send her to Deshaun Watson. Wow. Wow. One thing's for sure, probably in the future, if she were to actually do something like this, which I don't recommend her doing, but if she were to decide to go down this path, because of how niche of her physical appearance she has, if she were to decide to do something kind of like the whole OnlyFans route, she would probably actually make a really good living doing that route because she'd be a very unique, I guess, offering to potential customers, right? It's kind of like a drink that like a diet soda that you could really only get at one store. So they charge like an upsell for it, right? So instead of like a normal like diet coke at like a gas station being like maybe $2 for a can, this her special like diet soda kind of thing might be like $10, right? Instead of the market rate of like a diet coke of like $2. Something to think about because it's like a very unique thing. This is why like girls who are like super chubby tend to make more money in like the adult industry or just like modeling in general than just being a hot girl, right? Because just being a hot girl, there's so many hot girls out there, right? So if there's a sea of just hot girls and there's nothing really like, being different than one and the other, the only one that's actually going to make really any good money is the most popular one. But if you have someone that has like, I don't know, like four eyes, well, there's only one person that has four eyes, and she happens to be hot, right? So it's just a different way to look at it. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and manage your money, master your money, go to 40inbox.com. Feel free to give your thoughts about this. Do you think she should amputate her arm or not?